Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people. If it's working, let me know. If it's not working, let me know too. Yeah. On my end, it all looks good, but if it's not working properly, let me know. Because today I've switched to a different computer than I usually use, just in case things are not working. You never know. Electronics. So temperamental. Oh, it's working, so good. Humans from all over the world. Welcome to Avenue X's July 2023 live stream. This month. A little bit earlier than usual, but we just happen to have a Thursday on the 13th. Okay, let's see if everything's working properly. Should be. Okay. Ho, 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 ho. Catching up on Anle, huh? Yeah, they aired 3 episodes today. 1 episode yesterday. Showing you that Youku is, if it's a person, it's mentally unstable. That's the best way to describe what that platform is like. You just never can quite know what it wants to do. Seattle, Myanmar, Jamaica, Brazil, global people. Hope everyone is doing well. Indonesia, yay. Texas. Good morning from Texas. Texas. I've been there once, I think. Yes. The thing that impressed me most about Texas is things are so cheap. Food. Like breakfast, you go to a diner and it's like a huge plate of eggs and bacons and stuff, and it's like what, $8-9? Can't remember exactly, but it was impressive. France, Oregon, Switzerland, wow, so many different places. We're at all different clocks. Zimbabwe, seriously? Whoa. You know, one day we might be able to collect like all country names. I don't know, showing up on my live stream. That would be so cool. Maybe like only Vatican is not gonna show up ever. Imagine people who work in Vatican watching my live stream. Like, that would be a really weird picture. Cannot quite imagine how that could ever happen. Yeah. So, hope where you are hungry. Hey, the weather is treating you kindly. Here, where I am, it's been weird. We've had a really hot June. In the last 10 years at least, I can remember. It's hottest June, but it got hot too early. So now we're in July, but July hardly got hot in any sense. So, resulting, I have a feeling that August is just gonna be cool here and it's gonna get cold earlier than usual. So this year's hotness kind of have already finished for Winnipeg, which is the other day, a couple of days ago, it was like a couple of degrees at night, 5-6 degrees at night. Can you imagine? People were freezing on the street in the evening, and it was super windy. So you have the wind blowing, you have like under 10 degree temperature for summer. Like, that makes a lot of sense for North Hemisphere. And I'm like, oh, I've never seen a July this cold where I am. But then obviously I haven't seen a June this warm where I am too. So it kind of like shifted a month ahead for everything. Who knows, we might end up with August with heating on. Usually I turn on heating closer to end of September where I am. Usually that's when it starts to get really cold. But this year, Who knows? So we've had today. Let's just talk about dramas that are airing, has been airing, and then will air, because we have probably a few that's like, I don't see why it doesn't happen. So it would happen soon. And we're in July, August, the hottest slot of dramas. Although it's gonna be tough this year to get a really popular explosive one. I just have the feeling. No, we're not looking at any potential candidate that can do it. So we will talk quickly about a lot of dramas we've just like have been having, and then talk about the projections. San Francisco, hello. Florida, Costa Rica, England, ooh. Too hot. I've been in England. Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes it's hot, but it never really gets hot at night, right? Once the sun goes down, it's an island, so clouds move really fast, wind blows through. Yeah, and it never really gets stuffy and stale. You know, it's always moving in the air, unlike where my hometown was. It just could be days where the air stays still and not moving at all. Washington, D.C., ooh, another place. Yeah, the S plus thing, it's just an internal rating. Usually it just means when I rate it really high, I give it more resource. Like I give it more promotional space, I give it more money, a little bit more sort of bigger team, have higher budget. It's usually how this platform kind of gauge their own investment. Does not mean when it's S plus, it's just like a better drama. We've seen that. Like all those exploded ones are none of them are S plus, right? Guardian, Word of Honor, even last year's 爱奇艺 苍兰诀, Fairy and Devil, none of them are S plus. So S plus actually doesn't mean it's gonna be a good drama. It just means the platform puts most amount of like highest tier of resource that they can for that project, whatever they decide to do with it. You know, like pay most amount of money basically. So that's what S plus means for platforms. It doesn't mean the drama is better, you know, intrinsically, no. Yeah, because the other side of the earth, obviously, you're in winter. So we have yesterday. Youku, you know, again, Youku just proves again, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is people decided what Youku, the platform, is like, and it keeps doing what people think it will do. Which is, yesterday morning, they start to have a lot of 营销号 on internet, pretty much all rumoring, and even like with title images putting up on websites here and there, but not really officially announcing when they're gonna go live. It's like suggesting we're airing tonight. So by 6 p.m. in China, usually some dramas will show up. It hasn't showed up. 6:30 hasn't showed up. 8 o'clock hasn't showed up p.m. Usually 8 is the last sort of time that you would put dramas on. So everybody is like, Youku is Leo. It is walking the dog. Basically, it's playing with people's anticipation again, and on internet, people start to, you know, regularly and familiar way of just rant about Youku again. It chucks out episode 1 of Legend of Anle at 8:40 p.m., which is a really odd time. So odd that you can't even sort of gauge what they're trying to do. And even till today, so today they put 3 more episodes. So now it's 4 episodes online. Yet on their official account on any social media, they still haven't put out the what we call 追剧日历, which is the airing schedule. Usually when a drama airs on the first day, they would at the same time put out the airing schedule that you see which day they're gonna put out which episodes. Usually they would set top of that post on their social media account so that whenever you go in, you're gonna see that. This drama is just, Youku is just, if it's a person, it's a retard person. It just doesn't know what it's doing. So it did that one episode airing yesterday, which was just very confusing. And then it aired 3 episodes today, but still not putting out the schedule. And it's Youku. I guess everybody would just like take it. Not forgiving it, but we're like, yeah, you're Youku. So anything that you do, we wouldn't find weird. It has already made itself the self-image of a completely unreliable platform that doesn't know at all what it's doing. So let's see what's gonna be of this drama, because in total I think it has 39 episodes, something like that. It's an odd number. Again, why don't you do 40? Might as well just do 40, but somehow they did 39. So let's see how they're gonna, because we don't know how it's gonna air. We don't know how it's gonna air. Maybe tomorrow we're gonna see 2 more episodes. Maybe we're not gonna see it over the weekend, and then next week start airing again. Like they just do. Yeah. Youku, Youku. If anybody is hearing the sound wrong, let me know, okay? Because I test this right before I went live, and it seems to be okay. From my end, I couldn't hear anything wrong, but if you could, let me know. So it's hard to gauge. So since that it just since it just started airing, we can just first talk about this one, okay? And then we talk about the other ones that have been on for a while, and then the future ones we're likely to see in about a week or two's time. Okay, so Anle. I watched it yesterday when it went live, the first episode, and I just finished all 3 before I sat down making this live stream. So I literally started watching the drama the moment I woke up this morning. And to catch up and just see what this one is. Anle. This drama has finished filming for over 1.5 years. So it's been in post-production for quite a long time. And it's been delayed, almost like last year, end of last year. It should have gone live, but it didn't. So now we are middle of 23. Finally, it goes live. It's based on a novel that I haven't read, but a good friend of mine have. So I got the synopsis from them. I know what it's about. And I mean, if they follow the novel normally, it's just gonna be a rather okay story. Like a standard BG period drama with enough elements of everything that you probably are looking forward to in such a drama. So let's just hope that they stick to the pretty much original script and then original story, and then just let it work. That would be good enough. Based on what I've seen for the first 4 episodes, it's a watchable period of an idol romantic drama, but I don't think you should put your expectation too high up there. It's not gonna be career defining for either of the leads or any of the people in it. Probably would just be like, if it can land safely and like not having too many people ranting about it, then it's good enough. For me, I think this drama right now looks like that type of drama. Not absolutely silly and crappy, but definitely not by any standard with Chinese drama lens. Today's overall quality can be called a great one, or even a very good one. It probably is just an average passing the point of, you pass. It's not gonna be first class, It's not even gonna be 2-1 for the English people. Maybe a 2-2 or even less. I don't know. That's just my overall feel based on the 4 episodes I've seen. And I think Liu Yuning is the only main character in the drama who gets himself dubbed by himself. And he does it very well. He's not bad to start with. And in the recent couple of years, he really improved a lot in his line delivery. So now he sounds very proper, like a properly theatrically trained actor now. He is the only one, I think, who dubbed himself. The other people are all dubbed by other people. We're talking about Anle Zhuan. And in terms of production quality, production standard, with the so-called S+, right, that's attached to it, it really looks standard with so-called the highest amount of resources you can get from the platform. The lighting looks very well in studio. Although it's better than Changyue Jiming, it's still not very good. CG, the ocean, like opening episode, you have most of the story happening on the ocean, right? And that water CGI is like, it's worse than Word of Honor, just like how I would put it, right? And then the styling for the two leads so far are just not terrible, but not impressive either. Color, costume, hair, it's all, and also just how they decide to basically grade the color and the contrast it's still very Youku. You know, like if you've watched a lot of Youku drama, you know what I mean? It's a standard Youku look drama that it doesn't take the advantage basically of the fact that the two leads of this drama are both at the limit of how Asians can have bone structure, right? They're like the top ceiling level of having very angular and very strong bone structure, not flat, highly three-dimensional face. They're like both for both genders, right? They're at the limit of how far Asian people can go, in my opinion. Yet Youku's style of color and lighting just does not take advantage of that very strong contrasty feature of a person, and it just flat lighting everybody, erase their details, make them super bright, and you know, you can't even see much of that rise and fall of their face. Both of them have like really impressive nose, and in this drama it's just like not taking advantage of that at all. But you know, it's Youku's look and a kind of standard Chinese idol period drama look. So not my thing, but what can we do? Yeah, the quality is pretty. Yeah, and then they really don't do it very. I'd say the design of things really haven't been worked out very well to either help the character or make the actors look, you know, flatter them more. It could have been done. Didi Ba, her best looking period drama style till today is still made her really well known 三生三世十里桃花 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, in which she played Feng Jiu for the first time. Later she had Pillow Book where she's the main lead, but that drama styling really doesn't do her any good. It is 三生三世 that made her so pretty. And it was at the right time, I guess, for her as well. She's not super skinny at that time. And then the lighting and the hairstyle really made her look great. Afterwards, she never had a good period drama, Chinese period drama styling, ever. So that's been 6 years. Everything she's been in, Anle Zhuan, Pillow Book, there's the other one. What is that? Not Li Changge, the one with Wu Lei. There's another one. She had the tight hair braided on top. I can't even remember. Like none of those would just work for her. Those hairstyles, I just really want to strangle the hairstylist, because she is already like pretty enough to start with, but because of her feature is more like less of a Han traditional sort of beauty Chinese standard, more of the moving towards the other part of the world. She needs a little bit adjustment with her hair and makeup to actually make her look good in Chinese traditional costume style. Otherwise there's a weird contrast that just constantly is It's not quite sitting correctly, but it can be dealt with, really. Just with hair and makeup, she could look so much better. But for some reason, in recent couple of years, all her period drama look, Blue Whisper, I finally remembered. The Ren Jialun and her drama last year, they just don't style her in the right way. And it's very, very frustrating. And it's not rocket science. And it's just such a waste. She looks very bad with the Anle Jun hair when she starts the drama. Like you see the half of the hair is down and then the top are all braided with that. It just doesn't look good on her. It doesn't. She has a very small, tiny face with very strong feature, and you use that hair, it just. She needs a little bit of volume here around this part of her head, to balance off her very big features, very big nose, very strong eyes, and then she needs a little bit help around the mouth because she has very small mouth, and in comparison to her upper face, her lower face is balance-wise too light, and this is too heavy. So they need to actually balance this and then change the hair, and she will look 10 times better. But nobody does it for her. Like, I don't understand why, but period dramas, they just keep styling her in the way that makes her look worse. Yeah, it makes me very frustrating when I look at them. It's like, people, do you have eyes? Can you not see? But it's just me. I'm not the stylist. I can't help it. Anyway, but then also like when it comes to acting as well, she so far in Anle Jun is just very standard Diliraba. She acts in a very standard Diliraba way. I haven't seen any change from other things I've seen her in the last couple of years, and so probably not gonna happen in this drama either. I call this type of acting is worked out habitual acting that no longer goes through the heart. It just goes through the brain. You know, it's like, yeah, and like, and they can do it because they've been doing it so many years. It's all falling to this robotic, procedural, happy, sad, cute, and it's all worked out. It's like a recipe. It's like McDonald's. Everybody do it, and it's done the same way over and over. So far, haven't seen any, you know, like change. I don't know for the rest of the drama. Probably it's just gonna carry on and do it that way until the end, and then. So that's about it. In terms of Gong Jun, I recently have been reviewing my older stuff when I did the 2021 Word of Honor, all those edits, so many of them, and I rewatched some parts of Word of Honor, and I just find, for some weird reason, is it me? Okay, let me know. Okay, is it me, or do you read it the same way? Which is somehow when Gong Jun is playing, actually not just in period drama, but let's just use period drama as example. Like Anle Jun so far 4 episodes. Like it's not bad, but there is that you know, like when you're playing a role in a romantic sense, who's and romantic interest of another person. So you're interested in that person is interested in you, and in all those back and forth between two romantic partners, I just find whenever he's facing off a lady, he just looks good, but hardly any chemistry and connection or sexual tension. It's very pretty face, but nothing goes on, right? And where it's just totally different from when he was in Word of Honor. Like almost every way, like it's the same face, almost identical hair at the beginning of the Anle Jun. Somehow though, like the things behind eyes are completely different. It's like he's possessed by Wen Kexin in Word of Honor as this social butterfly that is just like the moment he shows up, right? He's just like an attractiveness and that the suction of your attention, and that beautiful person who's just so intentionally going around the room just trying to attract everyone's attention, and it's just very delicious to look at. Whereas in this drama, it's like the same good looking face, but 大哥你谁啊? You know, that's my reaction. It's like, hey, who are you? You know, why are you here? There's like nothing going on. That unseen thing, that magic is not there. It's just like pretty face, but it's like you don't feel anything at all. Thank you for Gmo Lego. Good morning. Hi from Washington State. Nice to see you too. Hello. Thank you for your super chat. Does anyone feel like that? Let me know, because it's my honest feeling. And and after his Word of Honor, I've watched pretty much everything he's been in, whether it's contemporary drama, the one with Zhou Yutong, the one with who? You see, I can't even remember. Hui Yanlan with Zhang Huiwen with and I just like can never get him anymore. And as soon as he let the real Gong Jun out, like the the Han Gong Jun, which he is more like in real life, right? He's not really those cool, cold, aloof guy. When he doesn't smile, he looks really cool. But the moment he smiles and sings, particularly when he sings, okay, it just breaks down completely. He's like the guy next door, right, who lives in the same apartment building as you and who walks his dog and you come across every day. Just immediately, that whole sort of star aura just shatters. And if he is not, like for all his BG dramas, whether it's contemporary or period, as soon as he let that cold and cool personality drop and starts to become like warm and relatable, immediately he doesn't even look that good. He just looks funny. And so weird for Gong Jun is so far I can't get his charisma at all in Anle Zhuan. It's because again he's acting opposite a woman, a BG, that he's just doing his job as an actor and getting each moment right, but no magic. There's no magic. It's just, it's two-dimensional. The person doesn't jump out to you. That there's no pheromone. Like you can't feel it. It's just visual. There's nothing in beyond the three-dimensional space that you see, right? And I don't know. It just doesn't work. And then if you, like, because I'm on Youku, so if I cut right back to Word of Honor, which I actually was clever enough to download before shit happened. So I actually have the downloaded version, and if you just click open one episode of Word of Honor, it just end up anywhere with your playhead where he is there, and just look at the way he smiles, the eyes, and then you cut back to Anle Zhuan, same face, almost same hair, but 多舍, you know, it's like it's a different person inside that body, totally different. And I don't know, it's just frustrating because I went into Anle Zhuan, you know, in a way to reminiscence of the older good days that have gone, and then I can't get anything. I can't get anything from my remembered Gong Jun's period drama character. So I sent this post out on my Weibo and also on my Bilibili. I'm like, certain things in this world can only happen once. You know, he stepped in that river back in 2021, and he can never step back in that river, even himself again. It's gone. We have to accept the fact that the miracle of 2021 only happens once in human history, and it's never gonna repeat itself. Even with the actual, like the original people, they've changed and moved on. Timing, things, everything has to be working for the perfect orchestra, everything to work for that one time, and it's one-time deal. It's the 可一不可再, can happen once but cannot happen again thing. It's really lucky that we've witnessed the whole, like, people, who's been here since then, process of those crazy 2-3 months. But it can never be repeated again. Never. It's gone. Now you clearly see it's gone, and I don't know. It feels really sad. But again, it proves Buddha is wise, because he said, within one flick of your finger, you have died 84,000 times already. Like, I think that's in Buddhist scripture, a traditional Indian way of counting numbers, just to mean countless. It doesn't necessarily mean 84,000, but it means countless, which is 一弹指间84000生灭, which means things die and get reborn countless times within this bit of time. You just are not aware of it. I mean, quantum mechanics can prove that in a way, right? Like, you're just vibration. You're constantly dead and alive, and it switches, and it's very high, so you don't realize, but it's happening. So for that 2021 March, April, May, it's just like one occasion in the fabric of the universe, and it just happens once, and it's never gonna come back, and it's never gonna happen again. It's gone. Oh, so tragic, so tragic. Synergy, it's like how you call it synergy. You need everybody on board at that time to just happen to be right person for the right job. Do it once and it never will show up again. So that's the Anle Zhuan makes me feel very sad because of that reason. I see the contrast and I see the 往事不可追，大都好物不坚牢，彩云易散琉璃脆。If you know what that line is, you know what I mean. So let's see how Anle Zhuan is gonna do, and when it's gonna finish airing, because Youku is not telling you. And since we're talking about period dramas. Oh, somebody is talking about Fox Matchmaker. Yeah, I wonder when they're gonna put that one out, because it looks like they're gonna put 七十吉祥 out before the Seven Love You 7 Time 杨超越丁禹锡恒星引力. Looks like they're gonna put that one out first, and then Fox Matchmaker. I'd say, like, just judging by the photos and production shots, Fox Matchmaker looks like a prettier drama, definitely, than Anle Zhuan. Higher production quality, and both leads have more worked out styling, hair, makeup, costume. So visually, probably it will be better. In terms of the character, though, I believe Gong Jun's character in Fox Matchmaker is also somebody who is not the best type that he is good at. So that character is also young, rather young, a youthful character. And in this Anle Zhuan, he's also a rather youthful character. He's like teenager level, right? Barely 20 years old. Honestly speaking, right now at his age, and also just Gong Jun, he naturally, the way he needs to play people who are more mature than 20 years old or 15, or between that range, like from teenager to early 20s. The things that can make him look most attractive and charismatic is playing a more matured character who knows what he's doing, and who plays with that, who plays with people's expectation. Again, more like a 温客行, the kind of people who have gone definitely beyond the point of being just a good-looking young guy who is clueless in the world. It suits him so much better when he plays a much more layered, complicated, and older and sexier person. So his role, in terms of the character for Fox Demon, may also still be a little bit not really best for him to play. Yeah. So we shall see. Wait and see when that happens, what it will look like. And then for the rest of summer, what we are looking forward to is probably in a week's time, you're gonna see 莲花楼, the martial art 武侠 drama with Cheng Yi. I think it also has Zheng Shunxi, has a couple of guys leading. We're likely to see that Lotus, what's the English name? Does anyone know 莲花楼's English name? Because it's called Lotus 莲花楼. That's the title in Chinese. But I think right now the rumor is it's gonna show up around 18, July the 18th. Let's see if that's true. And then once they put that one out, it's likely towards the very end of July, Tencent is gonna check out, Lotus the casebook. So Lotus casebook is likely to go live in a week's time. Let's see if it's gonna happen. That's the rumor right now. Then 长相思, the Yang Zi, Tan Jianci, Zhang Wanyi, Deng Wei one is gonna show up at the end of this month. That's rumor of Tencent's plan. That's a long drama, and it's been broken down into 2 parts. It's part 1, part 2. And because of the policy now, if they air part 1 at the end of end of July, then it will finish airing in August. Then you're not gonna see the second half until probably end of November or beginning of December, earliest this year. So the Lost to Forever drama is gonna be broken into 2 parts because it's too long. It's beyond 40 episodes, and it's gonna be aired as P1 and P2. That's right now what I heard. Tencent's plan. That just sounds like a really bad idea. Okay. So let's see if that's gonna really happen like that. The Mango, I mean, I don't see why, but I think Mango is for sure is gonna put out Young Blood 2 now or August. Either this month or August. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't do it, really. Like, it does not make sense if they don't do it. Totally not. So we probably will see Young Blood 2 also in the summer. These are the couple of probably most popular ones, and then we do have like other ones that are lined up already, but they probably wouldn't get that much attention globally just because of the cast and the type of drama, such as the Fearless Blood, the Mingguo espionage drama that's gonna show up on 15th. It's already scheduled. The one with so many top actor: Zhang Yi, Dong Zijian, Zhang Luyi, Tian Yu, Liao Fan, like crazy amount of famous people. But it's not like the type of idol drama that, let's say, the young and international audiences care most about usually. So that one is gonna air in how many days? 2, 3. So yeah, before I make my weekly video, it should already be airing. Also, the Zhou Xun led Imperfect Victim, that court case contemporary drama with Yang Yang, A Dream of Splendor's director directed contemporary drama, is likely to also go out around now. Who knows, in a couple of days. But those are the dramas that are unlikely in any way to get super big. You know, it may be interesting to watch them, but popularity-wise, they're not the not the type of drama that people would open subscription for. Mostly in China, it's the idol female audience targeted from 15 to 35, let's say, demographics viewer drama that usually gets the most attention during summer. This type of fan, yeah, I can just get them in on Taobao and get them shipped to me. But if you're in China traveling, grab them anywhere. Tourist places, it's like endless supply of this type of fans. This is like the contemporary modern one. Traditional Chinese ones are about that big. It only opens up to this. So traditional Chinese fans are about 110 degrees, slightly bigger than the vertical angle, and then yeah, like that. So a traditional Chinese fan is about that. And then the Japanese fan can get a 180 degree, full open. And then this is like in between. So this is a contemporary design of things that kind of sits between this and that. Yeah. But if you really look at ancient painting in China, you only see fans that can open up to this much. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the on-air one that's going on now, right? Because we've talked about Anle and we've talked about the coming ones that like I don't see why they don't happen, so they will happen soon. It's gonna be noisy. But I have a feeling, at least with all those potential dramas right now on the list, I don't see anyone has 爆相. The explosive, like they don't look like potentially explosive possible. It's just me. Okay, maybe. I mean, I'm more than happy to see one actually get really popular and in a good way, not in a bad way. You know, not in 90% of people have a problem with it way, right? Like you want it to be a good enough and people are happy about it drama. So far, I just have a feeling that nothing really would get to even last year's 苍兰诀 level. Obviously, I hope it's not true, but if it is, it is. Well, it is what it is. So, with the dramas that are on air or about to finish airing, let's just quickly talk about them. And if I miss something, you can type it out. I'll look at the chat, and as long as I've seen it, I'll talk about it. Some of the dramas I haven't had time to check out, but I've had a really quick look at most of the things going on right now. So yesterday we had 古相思曲 finishing, Ancient Love Song, the Bilibili short drama, 14 episodes I made a video about. It really landed beautifully. It had it stick the ending got really well done, and then as such a low budget and almost random project, it's performed beyond expectations. So I think it's really great for the whole team to have pulled that off. Ancient Love Song is now fully out, 14 episodes. If you're interested, I really suggest you to watch it, because I think this is, right now, with all the drama that's currently airing, the best. In terms of the crew are in love with their story and they put their heart into it, and they created very complete and full production. Although it's low budget, although you can tell it's by no means like great, you can sense there's so much love and respect to their own material, and they really put everything in, and they did such a commendable job for the limited resources and everything they've had. So, and it's by no means a bad story at all. Performance-wise, everything has been kept at a really, really balanced level. It's definitely not like something, if people say, you know, like recommend a drama to represent the best quality of Chinese drama and period drama, I'm not going to pick this one. But among the ones that are going on, this truly is the 良心最好 drama. Meaning the production crew they have the best intention, and they're so conscious of what they're doing. So, Ancient Love Song, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you. It's only half an hour per episode, 25 to half an hour, and then the 14 episodes, so it's like half a day. You can completely eat it up. Pretty good, and it's fun. You can watch it in reverse order. You can watch it from episode 14, which is episode 1, down to 1, and you can go back, and because it's a right? Timeline travel story. Then next one, I've also made a first impression on the Changfengdu, Destined. I'm just happy that I dropped the drama around episode 16 or 17. Around the time they have this huge battle at the city gate. The battle of the city around that area. I watched up to that point and decided to quit, and I am just so thankful that I quit because I found out what happened later. I'm like, wow, that would be such an insult on my mental health if I kept watching and see what they've done with the script, which is totally different from original story and completely not make sense and utterly stupid. So that's Destined, Changfengdu. I'm speechless with what they did with the female lead and the male lead and the whole like fake death for 3 years. Oh, this is like my genuine reaction towards the scriptwriter. They should be soaked in vomit and you know, like for 3 months in the dungeon just for what they've done. Holy shit. If you haven't watched, don't. Just forget the existence of Destined, okay? No need. Complete waste of time. And like by the point I ranted about it, right, it was already like when I made the video, it was still at the point where it hasn't completely crashed, but it already has problems, and I talked extensively about what it's doing that is just like really bad. After that, it started to crash epically. It's like I was at this point on the shore, and then after I made the video, the whole drama just went that way. Oh, my genuine recommendation is don't even start. No need. Waste of life. I think that 6.8 probably is just the beginning. A couple of episodes people rated, and then like often for Douban rating, you don't have it open all the time, so it sometimes will lock the rating. After a while, it locks so that no matter how many future people come in and rate it, it will not change it. Something like that happens. So anyway, then we have a collection of fantasy period idol drama that are on air right now. And honestly, I haven't spent that much time watching any of them that much. Like I've checked out a couple of episodes for each of them and decided not worth my time. Those are 血影领主, Snow Eagle Lord, Chen Yuan, Destined, and Youku Yao, Longest Promise. Yeah. Like I'm kind of like indifferent towards all three of them. Like I would put them in the same category as like, unless you really are so bored and just want to look at a particular person on camera, that you don't care about what they're doing, you just want to look at their face, then don't watch those because they're just like so meh. Like they just meh in different ways, but they're all meh. 血影领主 Snow Eagle Lord, the Xu Kai drama with Na Zha. The only thing watchable is their face. Like, yeah, their faces. And nothing else. And they have some of the weirdest CG I've seen in fantasy drama, in Chinese drama land ever. If you notice like how they do that space jump magic in the drama, where a person would just like evaporate from the point of view of a person, right? They cut the screen open with that cross. So they freeze frame the person, and then they make it a effect of like it's a picture that got cut in between, like with a knife in a cross. So the image bends and boom, with a little bit spark, and the person moves out. So they freeze frame and they cut that. And whenever a person is fighting, there's like Chinese characters, ginormous characters jumping on the screen saying the name of that particular skill they're using. I haven't seen a fantasy drama looking this bad with its CG, and the idea behind it, how they design it, is so stupid. I can't continue. I can't look at this drama and take it seriously. It's so bad. So that's Snow Eagle Lord, okay? Like no amount of Naja is gonna save that. Like you can put 10 Naja pretty girls in the drama, line them up, and I'm still not gonna watch it. Okay? Confused about drama using Chengzhu versus Dao. And don't worry about it. It's just like people just write it. For whatever reason. It does not matter because it's all fictional. So that's Snow Eagle Lord. Wouldn't recommend you watching it at all. Like even if you like Naja and Xukai, just watch them in other things, or just look at them like in cover shoots. Then Destined on iQIYI with Ma Tianyu and Angela Baby. First, it's all dubbed, so you can't hear their own voice. And then it's based on, I think, a Qilian novel that pretty 种马 type of story, which is like the guy just has like endless girlfriends and like endless girls for him to enjoy type of situation. And the male lead is actually a bad person, like in terms of like being an anti-hero type of role. And I haven't watched that many episodes, so I don't know what they've done with the drama adaptation. I'm not interested in it at all because it's just such a bland story. I mean, visually it looks better than Snow Eagle Lord. It definitely looks like a more textured camera and design of things, but in terms of story, characters, it doesn't connect with you. It like, and there's no way that you're ever gonna get moved by any of their actions and stuff. It's just very, I don't know, apart from like looking at their faces, what is there to look at type of fantasy drama. I watched a couple of episodes and I just like, yeah, pretty much like Snow Eagle Lord. I'm like, nothing is going on. Okay, quit. Move to another one. Youku Longest Promise on Tencent with Renmin and Xiaozhan. Yeah, so type of drama that I'm not gonna. I mean, I may make a not rent collection. Maybe I just next week I'll talk about a couple of dramas in package. Like all the dramas that are going on that are like, it really does not worth your time and life and energy. Like you can watch other things and probably like put 6 dramas in them. And I probably will quickly mention this one. So I'm basically doing a pre video of next week video in this live stream. Longest Promise is again a very standard Tencent looking. You know, if you've watched 千古绝尘, Ancient Love Song, if you've watched a couple of other like 镜双城, Twin Mirror City, whatever, like those, a couple of fantasy dramas in the last couple of years, it's just completely in the same category look wise. Nothing new, nothing unusual, nothing very outstandingly pretty in any sense, and it doesn't even make the good looking people look good. I mean, you know, like Wang Churan looks also boring in the drama, so you can get it, like how bad the styling really is. The color, you know, Tencent grades it almost like completely taking out all the saturation of colors, and then it also takes out contrast. It's very mushy, that look. All the Tencent drama look, fantasy drama look, it has that, and the story is boring too. Honestly, childhood, you know, like when we were 10 we met and we kind of are destined, and then later we meet, and like how many times have we seen nothing? It's so boring. So it's yet another like not working for me fantasy drama. Nothing worth watching. I can't think of anything that I can pick out and say, well, that this is at least, you know, something. Not really. Nothing. And Renmin, yeah, she really shouldn't be playing a fantasy drama like the pretty female lead. It doesn't work for her. It doesn't work for her. Her world is in contemporary drama, in realism, in playing edgy, sharp, a bit annoying type of character. That's her comfort zone, and she does those roles so much more convincing. Like in a high school drama she's doing on Youku, like immediately she's like 10 times better. You so believe her character and her performance of that there's no problem that you watch her. But in Youku, it's like every moment she's on screen, she's acting. Like you can tell she's acting. She's pretending to be the cute little girl. Oh yeah, ha ha, ha ha. So, that's Youku Yao. And also, like, there's one thing that cannot convince me with that drama is Xiaozhan playing somebody who's a teenager. But come on, that's like way beyond. Like you can't play your age down that far and still be convincing. It does not work anymore. Really, like when you think about that character is like under 18 or something. Really? Seriously? Like who'd ever believe that? So that drama is also that I watched I think 5 or 6 episodes. I think I watched it up to the point where Wang Ziyi's character came out. You know, no, Wang Ziqi and Wang Churan, because they were a couple back then when they were filming the drama. And I watched up to the point he showed up, and about there I stopped and I didn't continue. So that's around 8, 9, something like that. I can't remember exact episode count. And I decided to quit. So those are the 3 fantasy ones that we have. We have another short one that's on Mango, which I will check it out later because it has 22 episodes and it's right now only at 5. So I'm waiting for it to air more and just like do it in one go. The Zeng Qingjie, the famous short drama director now who did Killer's Romantic, who did the Face Swapping, who did the Mingguo Provoke, 小妈文学. So he did another one with Mango called 风月变, which is called Butterfly Lover, with the Provoke male lead. So Provoke male lead, but it's a pair drama now. And it has 22. Every episode is again 15 minutes. It's up to 5, something like that. So or like something like 7, I don't know. But we still have that many to go. So we still need 2-3 more weeks for that drama to finish. When it finishes, if it's worth talking about, I'll talk about it. But right now, I'm just like keeping it on the shelf and not watching that. Hi, for people who just joined the live, we're talking about ongoing dramas right now. We've already talked about Anle and projecting dramas for summer that's gonna air. So now we're talking, just going through a huge amount of dramas that are airing now. Mango also put out a fantasy drama called Dear Mr. Heavenly Fox. just hear the title, it's not gonna be a good drama. Yesterday or the day before, with Wang Youshuo, who is the male second of Young Blood, who had plastic surgery and kind of destroyed his looks. That guy leading fantasy period drama. I watched one episode and it's so cheap and so bad. I'm not gonna continue watching it. It looks really bad, okay? Just like bad. And probably one of the worst fantasy dramas that have gone like live now, recently. So don't even bother. I don't think it's worth your time. It looks very, very bad. So unfortunate. There's another drama I was just thinking. What was it? I was thinking. Oh, the 11th floor on iQIYI, the so-called another mystery. Like here I say so-called police drama. That I hoped it would be a good one. Not really. So far I've watched episode yesterday, was it like up to 14, 12, 14, something like that, 15, I can't remember. Anyway, I was up to yesterday's episodes. They did 2 episodes a day. The one with Pan Yueming, Chen Shu, Yu Jiwei, Wan Peng. Not worth your time. The type of, seems everything is happening, but nothing is really happening. And in terms of being a kind of case-breaking drama, of a cold case-breaking and sort of like going undercover, all that type of thing, it's just so anti-climax. There's no, like, supposedly it's the type of mystery crime drama that should hook you, right? And then you're trying to find out who did what. They kind of told you right from the beginning who is the bad guy. And everything that male lead would be doing is just trying to go undercover and then manage to get enough evidence to. But basically, there's no hook in this drama at all. And the way they're doing it is super boring. And even with Pan Yueming and Chen Shu, who are both good enough actors, like acting-wise, there's no problem. But the story is just so mad. I mean, it's watchable, but like you have definitely better things to do. It's like you're not gonna miss the world if you don't watch that one. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that IQE, the Lost 11th Floor. It probably wouldn't continue, even when like I really appreciate like Yu Jiwei shows up after so many years of Ancient Detective. I haven't really seen him in a proper drama. I mean, he looks okay. Like everybody looks okay in that drama, apart from that the script is boring. You know, the actors are okay, but hey, you know, it doesn't change the fact that the story is not good enough. So another one that kind of is like don't have to watch it. So like we have so many dramas that are ongoing that are like you definitely have better things to do situation. So sad. Anticlimax. And I'm following the mango, the fireworks. And it's so funny, in China, Yang Yang got pulled out to be compared to Wei Daxun in that drama as the male lead versus male third or fourth, like special guest actor who hardly has any screen time. Just because, right, like, sort of being so self-conscious in front of the camera, acting, versus paying attention to the character you're doing in the moment, acting. So side-by-side contrast, particularly when they have face-off scene in Fireworks of My Heart on Mango with Wei Daxun and Yang Yang. Particularly when they're in the same scene, when they do the cut between, cut between two people having conversation. Wow. Oh. It's like murder that's being done right in front of your eyes. Public execution of acting contrast. It's like one type of what we call in the moment being the character sort of feels right acting, and the other is good looking guy, but holy shit, what are you doing? and they're when they're in the same scene, it's so bloody brutal to watch. The back and forth cut. It's like watching two dramas and two directors doing it. But so on China's internet, Wei Daxun just suddenly got unexpected popularity due to his hardly have any screen time. Super, I think like the character is very daigan, I would say, right? The type of quotation mark incest character. But he does it so. He's very controlled. He's very contained, and he hardly do any sort of expression to show that. But he is in the right space for the character, so it comes out really right for the on page person. Whereas Yang Yang, like I said, I think he did a better job than the previous dramas where I just can't deal with even one moment of his acting. But in Fireworks, he switches it on, switches it off. He's jumping between unwatchable and watchable constantly, and you kind of cannot predict for the next upcoming scene. Is he gonna be watchable, or is he gonna be look at my jawline? It's like you don't know. It's completely blind zone. Next moment you may step on a lead mine, or next moment you may be safe. Every step is a bet, and it's 50-50. You don't know. And I don't know, like he wants to play this like Shenchen, this deep character, therefore he just frowns. Yang Yang is like that 80% of the time in Fireworks. Like 苦大仇深, like how many, like how are, like yeah, you're wronged probably for part of your life, but now you're doing pretty well. It's like you don't have to all the time. He's not relaxed, that's the thing. Like he constantly feels like, you constantly feel his squaring his shoulders, pushing forward his rib cage, and he's constantly just holding it. He's Like, don't need to, like, relax, guys, relax, okay, relax. He does not relax. His whole body language is. I mean, unfortunately, Wang Churen is not like that. You know, she's not like 赵露思因且是天下. The worst was 赵露思 and Yang Yang 因且是天下, who rules the world, where they're both trying to like compete. Who can pull their shoulder back more and who can have their neck like, who can stand like this more. They're constantly competing when they're in the same shot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, in recent years, I agree, Yang Yang's best acting was in You're My Glory, because he's much more relaxed and defeated in the drama. Like, he's not constantly proud and happy and strong and trying to show off. Therefore, he looks much more like a person. But actually, his best acting was in his earlier career when he first came out, like in 红楼梦, when he first got casted and before he grew the jawline. Like, that was before, I think he was 18, around 18, 17 when that got filmed. For a guy, or for humans, you wouldn't have the fully developed chin and jaw until you're 25. Your bone is still growing at that point, right? So he had a much weaker sort of line at that time and looks more like a young kid, right? After 红楼梦, this just keeps growing, and now he has more of this bone, much more than before, and he just likes to use it. You know, it feels like he wants to stab you with his, like, the corner of this. You really can feel that. He is one of those people who really can stab you with that. And he would just like constantly do that. But his best acting was back in the days where he hasn't fully grown. His bone structure is not yet there. That was when he was the best. And it just keeps deteriorating over time. I look at the current Yang Yang, I actually miss the old Yang Yang. I miss the Yang Yang that I've seen with my own eyes, who was just a clueless kid. He was a totally different person back then. The way he walks, talks, and the energy that comes out of like the face, the eyes, is just this really clean and youthful teenager. He was totally different. He was totally different back then. What happened in the last 15, 16 years? When he got soaked in oil, and it's like it has gone into his DNA and cell. It's like in the mitochondria of his existence now. That fresh, clean, youthful teenager is gone forever, and yeah. Closing my eyes, I can still see him looking like that. Hiya, hiya. Yang is popular because he got in the business at the right time. That's what I would say. He's one of the first round of like Ding Liu, Traffic, popularity actor. Yang, Li Yifeng. These couple of people were the first round of people who managed to harvest that whole wave of things in Dramaland. Afterwards, it's a different game. And he's destined. I think it's in his chart. It's just like he's meant to be a star. Although maybe like, you know, people are gonna laugh at his acting always, but he's meant to be a star. The way he showed up in this business is completely those classic stories that you would hear, but it's true. It's just how that happened. He was a dancer, and you know, like training since he was a kid, and got to the one of the best dancing performance Fuzhong kind of school. So middle school, select kids from all over China to go in, and There are two in Beijing. Best known is one is Dance Academy, the other is 解放军艺术学院. Now it's changed to like under the sort of like Defense University National. But before that, it was basically People's Liberation Army art institution. It's another like high school, middle school that trains dancers and famous for dancers. And a lot of dancers turn actors afterwards. So he was there in that year when it happens to be Hong Lou was making and they're casting people, and and the director and his and her company is in Beijing. So the first place they would go is to Beijing's 院校, high school, middle school, dance academy. So they would go to Beiwu and they would go to Junyi, these two schools for sure, and just screen everyone. All the girls, all the boys, whatever your age, you're 13 to 18, everybody comes out in the class one by one, and they would just sit there and look at everybody walking past, and then having, like, they would take the photos of all those boys and girls holding just like A4 paper, writing their name on it, and take a shot, and they would take photos of all the students in school at the time. And that's like the first round, carpeting, searching for actors, and then go back to their office and start to pick who might be suitable for what, and then asking them to come in for the second round, and keeps going round after round after round. That's how Yang got picked. He was in dance school. Had he not got picked, or had that drama not happening that year, he would go on dancing and probably become a professional dancer, end up in some national sort of troupe of dancing and become a stage dancer. He's a pretty good one. If he didn't give up, he would probably end up in somewhere, like not bad, but definitely not this famous and this much money. No way. Yet, as fate shall dictate, he got picked out. I still remember the assistant director who picked him, who was basically following, after, till the end, when it's only a list of 5 people for the main roles. Then he was charged to go to each of them individually to convince them, their parents, because they're all minors, to their parents that this is a good idea, and if your kid is dancing right now or doing 戏曲 like Li Qing was, it probably is a better idea to act. And he did it one by one, personal trips to these people's home, family, meeting their parents, meeting their family, and just doing multiple rounds of convincing. Because for those kids, it's very hard for them to end up in those top national dance academy. It's already thousands and tens of thousands of people selected to end up in that position. So if they come in and act, they pretty much gave up their dancing career. So it needs a lot of convincing. And so that director grew, I remember in summer, grew a ginormous cyst on the back of his neck because of all the pressure and all the pressure of that work. He had like egg size cyst on the back of his neck that required surgery to get removed. Yeah, weird things in Dramaland. So Yang got picked in that round and round and round of sieving through. Eventually ended up being Jia Baoyu, which is, if you're not Chinese, you wouldn't understand, but if you are, you will know how important, how heavy that character is to the entire culture of Chinese language and literature and everything. So in a way, it means that he's destined to be in this business, right? Whether he's good at acting is actually not important. He's destined to be picked in this way and ended up here. So that's Yang. It's a classic case of destiny cause. So these are the ongoing dramas. Anything that I missed? I think I've talked about most of the stuff. Right, ongoing dramas. We've talked about Anle drama, we've talked about projecting well-aired summer holiday dramas. We've talked about ongoing ones, most of them, I believe. I mean, there have been a couple contemporary ones that have finished airing that if I haven't talked about them on my channel, it just means I find them boring. Okay, so like the Zhang Bingbing and Wu Qian one. I kind of already mentioned last live stream in June, which is like, like if you like them, you can watch it, but it's like nothing interesting and new. Twilight. Twilight is, I think I watched it actually up to episode 14, something like that, and I dropped. I mean, it's not bad, but again, it's like a type of story that doesn't have a definitive narrative goal, right? Certain dramas before, like episode 1, you know what you're in for. You're in for a revenge story, you're in for a crime story, you're in for, like, you know, it has a goal. Like the whole narrative line, everything is gonna converge at a point and it's gonna have a definitive purpose of that sort of story being told. Twilight is the type of story where it does not have a definitive purpose. It just happens, things happen. And sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's funny. Both leads are actually original voice and they actually sound okay and relaxed enough and better than a lot of roles they've done before, I'd say. But in terms of the story itself, like what exactly are they trying to do when you think about it? You can't get it. You just keep watching episode after episode, like two roommates living together and having a good time, and then so what? You know, that's the type of story where you kind of like there's no hook at all. So if you drop out and you don't go back anymore. So Twilight is not bad, but it's not a story that has a clear purpose of narrative. It just doesn't really have a purpose. It just happens. So if you like that, you can watch it, but unlikely to get you any sort of like heavily involved in it type of story. That's Twilight. So Twilight, it is watchable in the sense that it wouldn't give you any trauma or burden. But on the other hand, you may just like drop out anytime. The type of situation. Yeah. Stay With Me. I haven't watched that BL Addicted. Really? Can it be remade? These days there's no BL in Chinese dramaland. BL is dead for Chinese dramaland. The Zhang Nan and Wang Yuwen, I know that one. 未雨燕双飞, something like that. I watched a couple of episodes and didn't continue. It's a classic Yu Zheng drama. And like every other Yu Zheng drama that has happened in the last couple of years, it has that classic problem of constantly plot points are happening, but when you think about them, they don't link up. And it does not create characters. The way they tell stories is they do not create characters. They just, one thing happens after another, happens after another. And they're all kind of taken from, you've seen a million times, standard plot design of, like you keep seeing things happening all the time, but then it does not create, it has no purpose. Does not create a coherent character, it does not push things forward, you don't see a line in any of the, in Yu Zheng's dramas. This one is like that. I'd say like the Yu Lou Chun, the Bai Lu one, the Ming Dynasty setting one, the Shangshi with Wu Jingyan and Xu Kai. They're all like that. All those dramas are like that. And they all use really noisy, loud BGM to just like do it all the time. To show you, oh, this is the moment you should feel sad. This is the moment you should feel angry. This is when the character have expectations, and this is when the character is sad. It does it with signaling, with BGM, and it keeps happening with plot, but not really any character has ever been written for his dramas. That's how I would put it. It's another one. The Zhang Nan and Wang Yuwen one. It shows that Yu Zheng is a businessman, and he knows basically what may, you know, like he writes his dramas for hashtags. He doesn't actually create characters. aka he doesn't know how to write actually. Being very honest about that. So I didn't continue watching. I watched a couple of episodes and decided, no, not worth my time. Even though I really like Wang Yuwen. Yeah, couldn't watch it. Zhang Yishan, Guan Xiaotong, Fan Chengcheng. I know that one has started. It's the second one of the one that has aired recently. 曾少年. So it has a series 1 with younger actors, I think, and this is series 2 actually. Right now you're looking at 曾少年. The characters grow up. Zhang Yishan, Fan Chengcheng one. I haven't watched the first one fully, so I just like I have too much in debt. If I go into this one, I probably need to watch the first one first. I just have too much going on. I can't have the time to do it. Not very interested, honestly, in this genre. So the Fan Chengcheng, Zhang Yishan, Guan Xiaotong one. But I heard it's pretty good. I heard people are saying good things about it. I just don't have time to invest into it. And it had that not so long ago happening first series, and I haven't even watched that one. So like so behind. Stay With Me. Stay With Me is which Chinese title? Anyone can tell me? I think it's familiar, but I can't remember. There are too many English names with things that does not directly connect. You're just like, Bing Bing gives Yang Yang a haircut. You mean fireworks? Yeah, they're very good friends. A little bit too good in the drama. But Yang Yang will never be in the BL. Don't worry about that. No way. No way. It's never gonna happen, okay? So I think we've talked about most of the ongoing ones. Anything else that I haven't mentioned? We have a lot of going on, but really nothing stand out. Very, very. Why not? Okay, you can't get like Yang Yang has that such a strong 天下老子最美 vibe. Like even if he plays something that's like a little bit unusual, it would just be a 水仙 story. Like he would fall in love with himself. Like there's either a female lead to fall in love with or himself to fall in love with. It's not gonna be another guy. No way. Not he's homophobic. Like to him, he's the most beautiful person in this whole world. I mean, if it's a girl, like he can have an argument that it's a different gender, right? The natural biological thing for humans to do. But like if it's a guy, who can ever compete with my good looks? And they want me to chase up a guy and chase after a guy. How can that possibly be true? I am the most good-looking male in this planet already. Like, who cares? I just cannot imagine Yang Yang being in the BL. That would be oh. Think about that. Like when somebody is so in love with themselves, right? Like, can you imagine? Like, no, not gonna happen. No way. Let me just like go away for a few seconds and I'll come back. God. I'm back. Okay. Short dramas, Ancient Love Song, just finished, worth watching. Then the manga one, we shall wait for a bit to see if it's really that good. It only just started. The Butterfly Lover. It's done by the guy who did Killer is Also Romantic, so he's good at it, right? He probably is not gonna drop the ball. It just depends on how good it can be. That's probably it. So we are very efficient today. By 1 hour and 25 minutes mark, we kind of said everything we can. Like I can think of, at least, about dramas that are going on right now. Anything else that we can talk about? Recently, I think I blame astrology, because recently something is definitely, like I haven't checked, but it's definitely hitting on my natal chart. I just had this nostalgia feel of, I went back to look at Word of Honor, which I haven't looked at for a while, for a couple of, 2 years really, and look at all my edits I've done at the time, the live streams I did, and I was so shocked about by the fact that I did that much in 2 months and a half. So from when it airs when it airs at like February, right, heading into March, mostly April, and then May was the concert. That was like 2 months and a half, or let's say 3 months. I did so much stuff. I look at like all the edits I've made, the commentary I made, YouTube videos I made, live stream on YouTube, live stream on China's platform. And I was like, holy shit, how did I even get this much done? Like, wow. It's like some level of overwork that I didn't, like, only in retrospect, you realize how insane that was. And I was like, holy shit, like, what was happening at that time? It's like a different time space than now. And then now, there's no way I can make that much content. I die before that happens. It's very, very, like when you look back, like, oh, it's, and then another sort of 可一不可再, something happens once and never happen again. So for a drama reviewer, these things are, it makes me have very complicated feelings of existence. And sometimes I really miss 2021, because I think for those couple of months, although I was like so exhausted, I was also so happy, right? Because I was able to just constantly put out stuff that it's like endless. It's like somebody opened a spring and it just keeps, the water just keeps coming out, and you don't even have time to like collect all of that. It just like does not stop. And then after Word of Honor, it's been 2 years and a half now. Not yet half, 2 years and 3 months. Yeah, something like that. Hasn't happened yet for another time, for the second time. It hasn't. This year, 2023, I've only made one edit of a drama by this point, which is July already, and that's the 不良之年清楚是 Here Comes Trouble, and I only made one. And because that drama is very short, right? Like overall, it's like one very coherent small story, and it's very hard to make a lot of content off it. And also, a lot of people are shipping the BL angle of that drama, and because too many people are doing it on internet, I'm like, yeah, you're doing it, so I'm not doing it anymore. It's like, I don't want to bother, because everybody kind of have already done enough. And that's 23. This whole year up to July, I've only did one edit for one drama. I did over 20 edits for Word of Honor. Just edits. Not the commentary one, not the live stream one, not the one that I talk about the plot or like saying about the mouth thing. Just edits. I did 20. Over 20. Probably never gonna happen again for me. Because as I age, I'll become less and less, I say, easy to get moved. That's one thing. And then you'll get older, you don't have that much energy anymore. So it happened really only once for my lifetime, and it probably never gonna happen. Like even say like in the future there's gonna be a big IP, a really successful drama again. I just don't see the possibility of me overproducing to that point ever again. It really only just happened once, and yeah. I even saved all the Bilibili live comment for all those videos I did back in 21, and I downloaded them all. So I have a hard copy on my hard drive of all those tens and thousands of lines of live comment. And they're all gone now. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's all gone. It's not like a public domain anymore, at least. You know, like it's on my hard drive, but it's a graveyard you can't even go back to visit because it's gone. The graves are gone too. 哎呀，活久见。Live long enough, probably you end up like 夜白一, eventually you don't want to live anymore because you look back in your life and it's all graveyards. Graveyards of people, graveyards of things, graveyards of good days gone by that will never return, right? So by a certain point of your life, you're like, I've had enough. This is... You become 夜白一 in word of honor. You just want to die. Well, Nirvana Fire is gonna have 3, right? Number 3 coming out maybe by the end of next year, fastest. Joy of Life is gonna come out next year because they're filming and they're not gonna finish filming until probably September, October. I just like, it's huge thing. So no matter how fast post-production can fly, it's definitely next year. When I'm sad, the sadness, I think it comes from the realization, right, of the fact that really in life certain things happen in this very spectacular way, but they're meant to be gone as well. It's like when it's happening, you don't realize how lucky or how interesting or how fortunate you are. But then when it finishes, right, the whole thing ends, and you like everything is like a dream. It exists in its own bubble of space time, and you know it has happened, but because you have no access almost to it anymore, and so it becomes that whole weird feeling. And also I think unless you're yourself like deeply involved in that whole process, I think because I've spent too much of those 2-3 month time life energy into making all those stuff, so it becomes very deeply tied to my existence, that unless I think other people who've done exactly the same amount of stuff would understand what it feels like, it's impossible to say it in words, like what it feels like that very 5-star graveyard. It's like a 5-star graveyard of so much stuff that got buried with that history and the time you've spent. It becomes very strange. There's no words to describe it. But sometimes when you revisit it, it's a floodgate of a dead dam. Anyway. Yeah, and another friend of mine who was also very much in Word of Honor, she also had a huge episode of her personal life that happened with this thing that it was magical, and it was also tragic, and it was like a novel, like a romantic novel, and she somehow ended up being the main lead. That thing is, her personal life is tied with the Word of Honor's airing, and what she also did, she did edits too, and it just happened coincidentally, happened a couple of things in her life that was just like, wow, it's like heaven write the script for itself, and you are just like a pawn in the whole game. She experienced a huge thing in her life, and it was just, I also think something like that would only happen once in your life and never happen again. but it's too personal, so I'm not gonna go into details. But a friend of mine, so to her, she can never revisit Word of Honor. She can never revisit even her own edit anymore because of that thing that happened that was way too dramatic to be random. It's so destined in a way that she made an edit and something happened in her life that just like knocked her completely, and it was crazy. And so afterwards she's like, I cannot go back to watch my own stuff anymore. And I'm like, yeah, graveyards. We have so many graveyards in the past. Recently, those graveyards are coming back for some reason. I don't know. It feels weird. So, in a way, I hope in the future I would be able to come across another drama that would have that, you know, like similar effect. But again, maybe that's not such a good idea. Maybe it could only happen once, and then that's it. Anyway, I've talked a lot about things that you probably don't care about, but hey, as a drama reviewer and editor, it's a very weird experience. Hard to relate to, probably. In terms of my own edits, it really I need to fall in love with something. I need to get inspired, and when I do, you don't even need to tell me. I'll do it. But when I don't, nothing can make me do it. So I'm very not active in that department, which means I cannot control it. Because I cannot control what I fall in love with. So when I fall in love with, I will do it. When I don't, no amount of money can make me do it. I don't feel it, I can't make it. That type of thing. So unfortunately, ever since Word of Honor, I haven't felt that much for anything. I think I made 2, 3, 4, something like that for Fairy and Devil. I made 4 edits for Stream of Splendor, but that was mostly because 2 of them are actually for fun and just for pretty pictures. In terms of the actual drama itself, I really haven't made that much sort of like, in my opinion, sort of high output stuff. After that, I haven't done anything until this year. I did one for Here Comes Trouble. That's it. Looking at how many videos I've made for something just tells you how much I care about it or like it or don't care about it, or so like it's a little. Maybe I just used up too much stored up energy for Word of Honor, so that like after that 5 years, you're not gonna get anything else. So cashed in too early on, and maybe that's also. Chinese drama recently really are not that interesting, and K-dramas, I know a lot of K-dramas are going on, but I can't get into any of them. I really do feel K-drama land has been butchered so badly that it really has lost its, like, what it's best at. The type of story and how it tells story that is its unique strength. I just feel these days they're also empty. K-dramas have become much more emptier than before. It used to have so much soul. Now it's just a very exciting, pretty skeleton and shell. It has no soul anymore. I mean, even for like the super, like it's a Squid Game. Honestly, what kind of is that? It's like Japanese drama and filmland have done that so many years ago, and they have already done it to the limit of this genre. And like, I don't get it why the Squid Game got popular. To me, it's just so meh. And then Glory, I've watched through the whole thing. I mean, on one hand, I can see why it got popular. On the other, like, if we sit down and look at it with very serious criticism, look at a drama storytelling, there's so many things I can rant about it. About Glory. Yeah. it's just, yeah, Korean dramas have moved on to a place where it just is. Netflix. The content world, the content creation world's colonizer, like a virus. The glory. One of the worst thing the glory has done is creating that male lead character. The good guy, the doctor. He is so defeating of the narrative's purpose. Everything they've built up for the female lead, that guy's existence destroys it. And it just makes it very laughable to the end, you know? Eventually, basically, her revenge is like nothing and counts for nothing if it doesn't get the backup of another equal force representative of the patriarchy of the society who just happens to be the good guy, right? So, like, yeah. by the marginal luck of meeting this person who would support you to no end with all his resources and who happens also to be a good guy, that you succeed. Oh yeah, that's fairy tale. True fairy tale. Okay. So, I mean, I'm happy that Song Hui-xiao kind of came back from that and kind of got her second round of peak time in her career. But in terms of the story itself, it's like, you just sit down and look at it with a little bit, and you're like, you know, you go like that. When I Fly Towards You is very, very cute, very lovely. It's very, it's that light, but fresh lemon cake. Like how it's a food, it's a piece of really spongy, very fresh, like not super sweet, really just freshly made, and it's like cool, and it's been in the fridge, and you just take a bite of that lemon cake. That's how I would describe When I Fly Towards You. It's beautiful, and it's like visually it's pretty. The story is very light, and it's all very positive, and it's just like very one of those prettier things that yeah, you can't really pick at much of that drama. It's all just very lovely. Maybe a little bit too light flavored for aged woman like me. But it's by no means bad. I'm just no longer very interested in high school romantic dramas anymore. I have definitely moved beyond that point and so left it behind to the point that these things very hardly sort of like can knock me over. It cannot. It's just like, cute. You know, I just look at it as their parents, really, or their auntie. Like cute boys, cute girls. You know. Good girls, good boys, well done. but you yourself is like, yeah, been there, done that. Move on. That edit, Human Realm is not worth it. That was crazy. I put like 50 different dramas in that one edit. Never gonna do it again. It's too much work. It took me so much time to just collect all those shots from different dramas. Well, happens once, never happen again. Gen Z, yeah, Gen Z is bad. Gen Z is bad. End of the Moon, I know there are people who like it, but to me it's bad. Hidden Love, oh my god, don't even want to start. Don't even want to go there. It combines so many wrong things. Like not just that P word, but like it even combines, in my opinion, like the whole sort of like male gaze and the subhuman position of being a woman. In the dressed up most rosy and pink and bubblegum way that makes it even more insidious and grotesque, right? So if I have to pick a word to describe it, I will literally say that drama is grotesque. And I hardly ever use that word to describe a drama, but Hidden Love is a grotesque drama, and I don't accept any argument. I even got like emails from people who have a very long email, like really long, thousands of words, trying to convince me it is not. I'm like, no. Sorry about that, I disappoint you. I can never be convinced by the anti-argument about this drama. And Hidden Love is something that I just like, I don't even want to look at it. Oh. But unfortunately, I see clips on internet. And, you know, like the goosebumps on me just like keeps falling onto the ground. I can hear their noise when they hit the floor. That's how bad that drama feels like to me. I mean, if you have like some live rot like sticking in my bloodstream and testing me, I can tell you, like, just by thinking Hidden Love, that some spikes of my hormone is gonna move. Like instantly you'll see change in my whatever hormone level. That's how bad it feels to me. Like I literally feel all my hair on just like stand up from my pores. It's like, ooh. Beyond three-dimensional existence of Avenue X has that like things sparkling over there in those space and exploding. that's how it feels. So Youku is a little bit too much this year. They've done a couple of dramas that just like move beyond my understanding of drama making. I but in a way, I honestly don't want the Youku to completely fail. If, say, for the couple of big platforms these days putting dramas out there in China, who deserves death? If you have to pick one that you really shouldn't be existing, I would still pick Tencent. Youku is pathetic, but Tencent is just like downright barbaric and horrendous. Can't be quite direct about why, but I know enough to say that if all those platforms are, one of them needs to go. It needs to be TC. Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. Oh. Mango TV is not really, I wouldn't even consider it in any way with the other three platforms, just because Mango TV is based on the Hunan television, satellite television. Like, it's a different system, right? Mango is never really a private business anyway. Tencent is the most problematic one, and Tencent treats content with most amount of disrespect. Let's put it that way. You may think it's actually YK, but not really. TC is the one that does not care about, it doesn't have a heart. It's a completely robotic existence. It only looks at data, performances, algorithm, and it only chucks out content that fits. Like they're wrong on algorithm, and they only care about like by numbers what makes sense. They don't care about, they don't understand at all the logic of content creation. It goes through all the branches of how they do content and stuff, and if you have real life dealings with them in terms of like creating content and development, you'll know how they think about things, and it's utterly bewildering. Like the level of ignorance they have towards what makes good content. They're completely number like numbers people. Like they only see spreadsheets. They don't care about any other things. And if you have any hope, like in their sort of, don't basically, don't ever. Right? 爱奇艺 content-wise, they probably have the best sort of attitude and also understanding. It's just they're not rich. They really are limited with money. But given that they are pretty much, like they are still a private company, but technically speaking, they belong to the country. Because it belongs to Baidu, and Baidu is, like, if you see the structure of things, 爱奇艺 technically is 国家队 in a way, but then it has complications as well. It's not that simple. Like, in those big businesses, there are different people in it, right? They're playing different cards. So 爱奇艺 has problems, but it also has a type of national backing, but then it also has people within that who are doing things that are sometimes very, it's the only platform that constantly do international projects, right? Than Tencent or Youku. So 爱奇艺 is a bit unique. But if we only look at content, I still say 爱奇艺 is the best one so far. Like we have Youku. Actually, Alibaba's film, like the film department, when they invest into films, and it's not so bad. They actually are in a lot of big projects and stuff. It's just in dramas it gets weird. In dramas it gets really, really weird. But in film world, Alibaba has quite a bit presence than the others. Yeah. If you look at a lot of big projects, their titles, you'll see Alibaba has a hand in a lot of things. So, technically speaking, right? That's what it looks like. As for Youku as this web platform doing dramas and content, it is really that not well, like doing very poorly as school kid who has a lot of problems, but then somehow he always gets a little bit luck when it comes to exams. He often gets a couple of good results every year. You don't quite know how it happens, but it happens. But it doesn't change the fact that he's constantly failing at everything. And most clueless among all the bad students in your class, but somehow he doesn't end up dying. That's how YK is like. It has a very weird... It's like if he's a person, he has a very weird birth chart. Okay, what else can we talk about? We can talk about something for another 10 minutes or so, and we can finish this live stream. I'm not making it going on forever, wasting everyone's time. Longest Promise. Oh, people are talking about Longest Promise. I read the synopsis of the original novel, and I was like, who had the genius idea of adapting this to a drama? How is that gonna work? For most of the majority of the time of the screen time, the female lead actually doesn't love the male lead. She loves a different person. I'm like, yeah, well, cool. How are you gonna pull that off? When you look at the story, okay, why would you think this is a good idea to adapt? Like, who thought about that? Top 5 drama this year? Well, it hasn't finished yet. We're only at July. I would definitely put Three Body on the list. No matter what happens later, it's definitely gonna have its position. Here Comes Trouble definitely is also gonna have a position there. Other ones, if we don't have future good candidates, like by the end of this year, I may squeeze in Starry Love as the last one, but depending on if we have better ones, that will take its position. I mean, there are a couple of really popular ones, but personally, I'm just like for example, like a Knockout, I'm definitely not gonna put it up there just because like it has a really good rating at the beginning does not change the fact that it crashed towards the end, and it's just so bad a crash that that I would not put it on the top 5 because of that failure. Three Body definitely will have a place no matter what, and then Oh No, Here Comes Trouble will definitely have a place. These two are definitely there. Shards of Her is last year's drama. It's October, I think. So it's not 2023. I haven't finished watching it, but when I get time, I will. So many things. What do I think about Justice in the Dark? It's a good thing that it got pulled off. It's a good thing it only aired 8 episodes and then it got stopped and then it got taken down. For Zhang Xincheng. For this actor. For his future development in his career, it's a good thing. Had this drama finished airing, it's actually not gonna do him any good. Judging by everything we have right now going on in Chinese drama land. And all my industry friends agree with me on that. Okay, so to me, Justice in the Dark is a spendable one, and it's really Zhang Xincheng's luck that it didn't get finished airing. For the other guy, it does not mean that much because first he's older, second he's already married, his career is in a very different place, and it's never just gonna be as the type of career that Zhang Xincheng has right now. Zhang Xincheng is at a point where he so intentionally tries to move to the serious actor side of things. He's doing constantly projects you see in the string that what they are like. First, it definitely is all BG. Second is all moving towards the Zhongwu Yangguang type of stuff going on. And at least I think for him, his own career development, he wants to move towards that side of things. And if so, Justice in the Dark is just gonna be an obstacle in that way. And also, if that drama actually finished airing and got in any way popular, which the drama itself may not deserve, but because we are so starved of BL content in Chinese drama land, if it actually gets aired, it's gonna get a lot of attention no matter what. Okay, it's gonna get beyond normal drama attention probably 5 times, 10 times. Even if it's not a good drama till the end, it still is gonna get a lot of attention and people are gonna overinterpret. You know how we can overinterpret everything when Word of Honor came out? People overinterpret every tiny, minute details to one eyelash. And if that happens, it's just gonna be actually in contradictory force and direction of Zhang Xincheng, his own design projected career path now. So it's actually better for him to not have that drama airing. Honest opinion. Also, I think based on the first 8 episodes of acting of his in Justice in the Dark, he actually didn't get it, I would say. What is the magic of BL? Like how you play it to people's expectation and how you... But basically, I don't think he actually quite understood what is the most attractive thing of BL adaptation. In the way he performed it is try to sell it consciously, and that's wrong. You have to perform it in a way that it comes very naturally and almost undetectable from the character and from your performance, but it leaves plenty of room for people to imagine, to fill that in with their own imagination. You have to give a hint, but barely there, and you leave all those empty space for people to fill that with their brain. And that's how you play BL. He gave too much, and he so intentionally tries to act BL, which is wrong, which is totally wrong strategy. So, like with only 8 episodes now floating on internet, people who have downloaded it It's not enough a problem yet, but if you have the full 35 episodes out where he presumably is gonna have a lot more that kind of didn't quite control it fine with very fine muscle control of that acting, it could destroy his public image in a way that people in the future, when they think of him, they're gonna think of Pei Yi. They're gonna think of Auntie Pei, which is really bad. Okay, you don't want that for a guy, for an actor like him. So I mean, like overall, I think it's actually good for Zhang Xincheng, the fact that this drama had this weird airing and stopped and then got taken down thing. Just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion. Particularly, like if say in August and this month, if Mango puts out the second season of Young Blood, where he leads it with Zhou Yitong, if that one is well written and well performed and up to the standard of the first one and even better, it will be then so clear for you that it is his luck that the drama Justice didn't air to its full term. It will probably show you that. You'll know. But yeah. So to me, I don't feel a huge pity of Justice in the Dark, because I think even like for Priest, her own original work, it's not the most adaptable one. Even when it's completely normal, if it take out all those like gibberish that they designed for the story setup. If you just say it's a normal story that happens in a China city, contemporary time, and it's police drama, it just so many red tapes for police drama that you just like, you might as well just not do it. So, and you add BL on top of that, looking for suicide level. So I don't feel so much of a pity. And then for the other one, 杀破狼 烽火流金 for 谭健次 and Chen Zheyuan's Tencent Priest's BL adaptation, that one. My feeling is very mixed. If I can have a private screening and go into that production company, steal their hard drive and watch it, I will. I really want to. But given, again, what Dramaland is like now, I think it would be better for both leads to not have that drama airing. Similar situation as the Zhang Xincheng situation. Chen Zheyuan, probably not so much yet, because he hasn't yet fully, I'd say, broken through in terms of like getting a much bigger audience than before. Tan Jianci is on the brink of like becoming more and more tier 1 and even, you know, like breaking through that demographics more. So again, having a BL probably now is not the best thing, just like for them personally, okay? But in terms of the story itself and in terms of like whether I want to watch it, oh, I do. Okay. If I can get hold of that hard drive, I'll watch it myself. The type of drama, right? I would not like refuse. But like say for Justice in the Dark, I don't even necessarily want to check it out, even if it's out there. Then for Immortality, better not come out. For more reason than one, for both leads. Oh, holy. I think both of them want to leave it behind, honestly speaking, at this point in Dramaland. After last year's BG drama Chen Feiyu did, after his gossip that happened earlier this year, after Changyue Jinming, all the drama with Changyue Jinming till the end of the moon with Luo Yingxi, it just wouldn't make sense, like for their well-being, to have that drama released now. It's just gonna make everything worse. So for Immortality, it probably is just like fully buried. I wouldn't like, it wouldn't make sense really for it to come out now, but maybe 10 years later when it's completely irrelevant, then maybe you can have it out. But not now. Like Immortality is like one of the worst you can think of. If it happens, like if it airs, it's, I can already see the bloodshed of fandom war happening. Oh, everybody is gonna get destroyed in that. Then 天官赐福, Heaven Official's Blessing probably shouldn't come out either. Because Zhang Linghe has moved on too. And the other guy isn't that popular anyway. And Zhang Linghe has definitely moved on. Like, since Tang Lanjue, and then he ends up working with Yu Shuxing again, and he ends up with Bai Lu, and then you have like a lot of things he has lined up for himself. Like, it just like... So for 天官赐福, it probably is just gonna be such a bad idea for it to come out. Also, like this drama, when it was filming, there's enough sort of leaked out stuff on stage, on set that clearly suggests it's played by a straight guy who doesn't give a shit to BL. So if this drama airs and those like special sort of like feature footage is gonna come out, and it's gonna be very anticlimax. When you see what it actually looks like when people are working on set, as opposed to, you know, when it actually ends up in the camera, it's just gonna be so odd. These two actors weren't really trying to in any way sell it when they were even off camera, supposedly while they were filming. So it's just gonna look even worse if this drama airs and people know it's all just play. It's just all acting. I mean, it's all acting anyway, but they don't even want to just put on a facade of like, while we were working together during those couple of months, you know, we're good friends at least, right? Like, if they don't even bother to do that. So it's kind of just going to be a hard sell if it airs. These are the high profile ones, right? What else do we have? We have a manga one, but that one probably is never going to come out too. Like the Mao Zedong and Zhang Yao one. That original novel is brutal. So like, if you compare to original novel to adaptation, they have to change it. But because the novel is there, people are gonna overthinking it, and it's just gonna be so ugly. So probably that one is not gonna come out either. And then the Fan Chengcheng and Wang Anyu one, the 振兴工厂, the steel mill industry town high school drama. Well, I don't see, like, that's gonna be even harder because contemporary one, because it's minor, it's high school students. It's high school drama plus BL. Like, no way, no way. Like till the end of the day, it's not gonna come out, I think. So I have pretty much gone through all the BL that's being like held there and not airing, that we know. There are a couple more that are smaller projects that are even lesser known, so probably don't need to talk about them. And they all look like unpromising, and technically speaking, wouldn't make sense for those dramas to air now. If in a long time in the future, 5-10 years down the line, when things have changed, when it's no longer relevant for the people who are involved in the drama to like have it air or not, then it may air. But now, no way. Yeah. The problem is gonna bring the drama itself, right? It's not because people think like it's because anti-gay, it's anti-homosexual. It's not that at all. Actually, there's no law in China that says it's any problem, and people actually in life, it's, you know, Chinese people are not religious at all, so we're all practical people. You know, like we only care about money. That's what Chinese people care most about. It's actually not that. It's because all the BLs are adapted from books that you can actually find the original text. So even if they don't film the exact plot, you know what they're filming in reference to. That's one thing. And that thing has problem, therefore the drama is not completely clean of that. Then, because BL tends to cause the biggest trauma and biggest upheaval and unrest on internet, fandom fights, actor fans fights, CP fan fight against single fan, and a huge amount of intentionally sort of like pouring the oil on the fire situation going on by all kinds of weird people from the corners of internet trying to play into this game to get a slice of their cake. Whenever a huge BL drama happens with all that traffic and heat, a lot of people get in there and try to create the situation, try to make more war and unrest so that they can get benefit from the whole game. And it causes so much mess in the public realm, in the public discussion, the internet gets polluted by it so badly. And every time when that happens, a couple of really extreme cases would happen and just like a huge mess. Therefore, just because BL have that original sin, which is if it airs, you're gonna have that problem. You can't get away from it now. Social media, it's destined. If a BL airs, you're in a shitstorm of stuff, and a lot of people will start to do even illegal things to get money out of it. There are a lot of fandom stuff they do that are strictly speaking super illegal, like collecting money, sort of like the illegal GoFundMe, all that type of thing, and money goes on. It starts to, and then minors, underage people, campus, sort of all that leaks into that level. So because of all the side effect you're gonna have with a popular BL couple, BL gets cut. It's not because actually BL itself has whatever sin that's that bad. It is because it's unavoidable. People are gonna take advantage of it and do all kinds of shitty things that 一波带走, it gets like So yeah, what can you do, huh? It just permanently damages people, really, in some cases. We've seen that happening multiple times already in Dramaland, right? And for the people in the drama, it's the case, but also for the people who are like, for fans, for people watching the drama, unnecessary trauma, it just like show up in their life. And it can get so ugly. It can get so ugly, like destruction level. And you get like 10 times internet, 100 times internet trolling and bullying happening, and it's just like too much mess, basically. So they're gauging between sort of benefit and then like the cost of it, and the cost is just so not worth it. Therefore, your time is your fate. Still mainly about homophobia. Actually, not that much. Chinese society is not like that. Culturally, it's just never a problem anyway. Homophobia, yeah, it exists, but it's not because of that people really. I mean, from an authority's point of view, that they push down on this genre. It is with the fact that it causes too much problem. And from think about that from the manager's point of view. If you manage a company or manage a team, if something that happens that it's just gonna cause mayhem for you to do your daily job, for you to organize things, for you to keep everything in order, it's just gonna everything is gonna go like that. Would you not want to kill it in its crib and say like, don't even let it happen? Like people are all lazy as well. They don't want to do things that's not necessary. If we can completely avoid mess, let's just avoid mess. And practical reasons, actually, I think is more important. And then in terms of like cultural content production, censorship is one thing. Every country has its own, and it has own red tape that you cannot step over, right? Like for example, in the US now, the PC culture is very right. North America, where we're soaked in PC, and then there are certain words you definitely cannot do, certain people you definitely cannot attack. You have to respect everybody's choices of pronouns. And if you if you challenge that, you're dead. And does it mean it's completely, let's say, like fair? No, but hey, who cares? That's like the overall what the society right now is like. So China has its own version, whereas there are things. Is it really that big of a deal? Probably not, but hey, cannot have it happen. And then always, I think think Chinese Communist Party actually is always very clear about the fact that it needs to be the party that directs the cultural movement or what's the mainstream. Like they define what's the mainstream. It always has been clearly said from day one that that's gonna be the case. So like like some people, it's just being very frank actually about it. So therefore you have it, and in certain other places they're not being very frank about it, but you still have it. They just have it in other ways, So, is that such a difference? Not really. Every place has its own rules and what they consider to be proper or conducive to its overall sort of like projection and picture of what type of society we want, what kind of thing we want to encourage or we don't want to encourage for now, for our this big purpose, what works more in line with it, and then so you end up with this particular spectrum of like allowance. Like you can do things in this, but you cannot do things in that. Works very differently from different places. Yeah, and honestly, it's also not the thing that if you can tell BL story, you can have good stories. That's totally not true. iQIYI actually has been doing it secretively for years now. Ever since BL become a really red flag thing, they have put out how many productions already? Contemporary ones that have almost like no relationship, like you don't even think in that angle, but it has created CPs. It has created male-male CPs so successfully that without saying we're in any way BL, and you can't even tell, but hey, shipping happens secretly by people like in their own brain. So the thing is, do you actually need to have that, waving there, like we are a BL, and then, can you make it work in the exact same way, essentially, but still like not having that shell, like not really screaming BL? Most successful one in the last couple of years would be Under the Skin, where they created a male-male CP that's a policeman and then policeman. I mean, how different is that from Modu, technically speaking? But then, because it's not BL, so it's like broad daylight. We can do whatever we want. And then it worked out brilliantly for the platform, for the two actors. So, and even in Knockout, how many people were shipping the brothers, the pair of brothers, the Zhang Songwen and Zhang Yi, and a couple of other people, like the random shipping of like random gender mixed match, and like it. Who says it's in any way like BL or GL or whatever? Like, who cares? Like people will go and ship it themselves. So probably a more clever, like more sort of like get the same effect but not getting all the side effect way is you have your CP as much as you want, but you just don't sell it as BL, right? You put good performance, reasonable acting, story, well written, narrative in your story. People will go and dig it out themselves. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to like promote it. We're just talking about a very logical, normal story. We're not intentionally selling anything, and go ship it yourself. And then people will just ship it themselves. Maybe that's the best way you can do it, right? And it makes more sense to do it that way. Because if you intentionally just pick out one thing and you tag a drama, right? You tag this, let's say it's BL. You tag it so it's a guy, and somehow everything else about the story is no longer important, which is not true. You can't just write a story on a relationship like that and think that it's gonna work without convincing sort of story structure or good acting or any of that, and a good story, good well-written characters. BL is just one characteristics of a big production that has many other things going on. And the overemphasizing of that one thing of this drama creates a lot of mess. So therefore, it ends up like this. And when in reality, you can do the same thing, but just go it around, get your way around it. The water finds its way, and it's still the same thing. You're not selling it, therefore you're not stepping on the high pressure line, and it still works. like it so the most actually intelligent way of doing that is write a good story, write responsible story, create reasonable good characters, get the story actually out properly, and then no need to emphasize on we're selling GL, BL, BG, whatever. Even like CP, 炒 CP, which is CP fry, stir fry. You know, when the drama airs in China, there's the promotional tactics of 炒 CP, stir fry the CP, the coupling. I mean, most dramas would for sure do that, and they almost always go for that, right? And they name the CP with a particular name, like whatever they think of, and then they sell it. It's a promotional tactic. It's a man-made thing to add on a story that really just like you decided to put a word on it and define it, and then say like, but what is that actually? If you don't have the story as the foundation, as the material source, you're not gonna have anything on top of it, and it's totally a man-made concept. You decide it's a CP, then it's a CP, but what really is it? You know, and do you have to actually? And once you get it tagged, it changes sometimes perspective on it, and in a way, it limits its possibility, and also like what it changes what it truly is. It changes the essence of it. It no longer is just that thing. It is your naming of that thing, and often it actually creates more trouble than good. How the fuck they have so much time, and they're not working? They're kids. They're kids at school. Most of them, primary school kid, middle school kid, 8th grader. And they get used. They get taken advantage of by people who are older, who set up. You know, like fandom has hierarchies. They're like a cult. You have to every day do this much work for me to send that many comments, to do this much work, buy this many albums, buy this many printout. You know, like they do those photo books and they sell it. And those are the adults, the much older people who are totally not actually caring, give a F to the CP and the stars. They just want to get money, and they create those type of hierarchies and clubs and fan support, and they sell stuff and they get a lot of money. They collect money illegally and they run away. They cancel their account, they disappear. There have been so many occasions when that happened in Chinese drama land, and also idol shipping, whatever. That it's like, and same person who multiple like reincarnate. So first they suck the money out of this fandom, and then they disappear. They cancel their account. They go to another one, open another account, and do another idol or actors fandom, and they collect another pack of money. And like people have been found out and going to jail for that. Like it's just, you know, like this type of thing is what I think the censorship tries to put down, like stamp down. So that's why like how BL gets, because BL creates like the infestation of these people. It's insane on internet how many people are doing it, doing all kinds of illegal things to get a cut out of that. Cultural obsession. It's BL. Every top popular person's fandom is a bit insane. They're all pretty nuts. Someone explain obsession with BL. No, I don't think actually. I think what it is because it naturally has that layer of mystery, mystified things, and also a level of forbidden, taboo, societal, a level of hidden things. And also even like, because in China it's called adaptation, right? It's not danmei, it's dangai, adaptation, meaning that you cannot directly do actually BL. You have to adapt it, and you in the process you actually tune it down. You don't make it direct. Like you can't see two guys having sex on screen. Like not gonna happen in dramaland in China, and you change a lot of those things, and in a way because it's 犹抱琵琶半遮面, it's not like showing you it's doing this. And this actually is more interesting a picture than this. Because you're doing this, all this area is imagination. And you brew that, and that becomes so much more attractive and sexier and interpretable, than frankly lay it open and let you see everything. And so like BL adaptation has that magic because it plays with that hide and seek. It plays with that we are obvious but we are not. It plays with that like the mouth, like the line dubbing in Word of Honor. You see how many people like were fascinated about the fact that it was a different line that they were spoken and got dubbed, and people tried to find out what it actually was spoken when they filmed it, and they got so much pleasure out of it. It feels in that psychological need of like us, right? Of digging, like doing the digging yourself. Like you're trying to hide it from me, so I will find it out. It plays into that our nature. We can't help it. It's human nature. So that's why I think BL, because of its forbiddenness, and then because of that half hidden, half showing you, never quite give you that, but just right about there, like, yeah, it teases. Like that teasing works so well on humans. If you know, like if like BL or gay or whatever, like, you know, because BL and gay are different, and in case people don't know, it's totally different thing. But anyway, like if that type of content becomes completely censor free, it's like you can film however you like. You can have two guys like have a marriage on screen, and it's all gonna be fine in Chinese drama. And if it becomes like that, you know, one day, you know, nobody would give a shit to BL anymore. Because it no longer is the forbidden thing in the society, and no longer is that thing you cannot quite talk about. It becomes so like broad daylight. It's just like BG. It's just like going to a restaurant and order food. There's nothing special about it at all, and nothing. All that mystery dies. Therefore, it no longer has any special value. And you're not gonna. Immediately the magic disappears, and nobody is gonna cash in on that. There's gonna be no crazy fandom, none of that. It will just die instantly, because now it's just broad daylight thing. Therefore there's no pleasure. There's no pleasure in digging anymore. Therefore, so you see, actually it's not really about whether it's BL or GL or, you know, forbid, you know, like what gender or what kind of relationship. It is about the fact that it's not allowed, therefore it's delicious. Once it's allowed, it will die in a second, like you spray pesticides on the bug and you just watch it. It's 12 almost. Another 2 hours and a half. Every kid is like that. Your parents forbid you to do something, right? Don't climb the tree, you climb the tree. Don't go into the pond, you go to the pond. You know, like, don't do this. Oh, I'll do it. And if one day your son becomes that, do whatever you like. You're like, well, I don't know what to do. Suddenly I lost interest in that. Same thing, right? Also, you know, people somehow just need that grouping. Also, like, I think there's like some kind of psychological study is we naturally want to become a part of a group, because that's human nature. That's how we evolved. And then these days we get very segregated by internet, by people are very actually far away from each other, although they can talk to people from the other end of the earth like in a second. And they need grouping. They need to find that herd. So on internet, those kids, who have probably a lot of shit to deal with in their studies and, like high pressure environment, they need to find their herd. And they identify with a group of people who have like the idol, the actor is just their like imagined god in that cult, right? And then they form this herd and they find comfort. They find this psychological massage and need. And people become addicted to that. And then the more you stay in it, it becomes harder for you to leave. It's like any cult, Not that different. Fandom is cult. Fandom is just exactly like cult. And then even like political, different countries have their different parties, and like you identify with something, and then you find your meaning in that. You constantly get the feedback of confirming that you have a place, you have value, you get like what you think gets heard and get confirmed, and you need that. Psychologically, everyone needs that. So if you don't have other places to get it, the easiest way to get it is through fandom, right? Because in China, like religion is like not really there, and then politics, you can't really play it. So what else are you left with? Fandom. Fandom is the only thing you have. Cheap, easy access, social media, everybody has a phone. So. And also, like for most BL lovers, it's female. It's women. BL is women's daydreaming of the sort of ideal relationship between two men. Right, it totally is that angle of things, right? It's nothing to do with reality or homosexual sort of like in real life, but it's a fantasy land. It's built up completely by imagination. I mean, often like referring to and straight women, like like for me, like I enjoy watching BL because instead of watching one good-looking guy fall in love with a good-looking girl, I can watch two good-looking guys fall in love with each other. So I get double happiness. Because from a straight woman's sort of point of view, I get another good-looking guy. I can look at two of them at the same time. And Danmei needs to be good-looking people, right? First, starting with good-lookingness, and then the gender thing, and then so to me, right? It's just like get buy one get one free. If I watch a BG, it's just buy one get one. But then I watch BL, it's buy one get one free. It's not real. It's not real life homosexual relationship at all. But hey, who cares? It's just like an imaginary land of things. Very simple. Like it's just like cost effect. Very effective. And you pay less, you get more. Why not? And I am on the spectrum of probably sexual orientation, so straight a woman that even the prettiest woman standing in front of me, I'll just say, wow, you're really good looking. I guess I have to work harder this lifetime to reincarnate to get a face closer to what you look like, but I'm not gonna want to jump on you. So I am on that spectrum. Is no matter how pretty a woman is, it's just not gonna work on me at all. So for me to watch a BG is there's only one side that is hot, the other side is not having any signal going up at all. So if it's BL, okay, I have two. Double the happiness. And it's simple. That's to me is like that, right? To other people, I don't know. But for me, BL is good because of that. Simple. Has nothing to do with actually whether I care about a guy sleeps with a guy in reality. None of my business. I think. And then also just in terms of romantic relationship, no matter if it's man, woman, gender wise, whatever, it doesn't actually change the fact that what is the most delicious point in the relationship the most juicy, the most, like when you watch as the audience spectatorship wise, the most exciting part is right at the point where it hasn't been fully confirmed yet. It's like these two people are testing and teasing with each other. Their energy is at the point where, you know, they're just about to, but it hasn't happened yet. It's just like before the sword was taken out of its sheath, is it? It's just like 1 inch out. You know that the glint of the blade is already there, but it hasn't been. And that's the most delicious part. Regardless if it's a guy, girl, whatever. And for the most delicious part of a romantic relationship drama, if it's well done from beginning till the end, probably when you loop it, you want to loop that part most, is heating up to the point it hasn't broken through yet. Once it fully is out, they are 100% for sure, and then now they have to face the reality of whatever challenges ahead of them that they have to overcome to be together. It becomes more procedural. It just has to happen, but the energy, the tension is gone. The tension is the best at the place where it's that tease. That game is being played, right? So, like, even when I rewatch, if I rewatch Word of Honor, the first 12 episodes is rewatch loop. Whereas after that, particularly towards the end, when they need to actually get the story tied up and sorted, it's just so laden with other burdens. It's no longer so pure a form of joy. And that's the same thing with no matter what you're writing, whether it's male, female, you know, like does not matter, BL or not BG, it's the same. Like it works the same way exactly, which is that part is the best part. Once it's worked out, magic is gone. Okay, so we've said a lot today. I'll be here for another 5 minutes and then we'll call it a day. Thank you for coming to this live stream. July. I may be traveling soon, so we are unlikely to have August live stream. I don't know if it's reliable enough to actually have a live stream then, but we shall see what happens. I do hope there's gonna be at least one really good drama between now and then. Otherwise, it would be so sad, you know, when you have such a meh summer, you know, just like one good one, just like one. Anything else anyone want to say? And before I go, a couple of minutes. Where am I traveling to? Where else? I haven't been for the last 4 years. Last time I was back in China was 2019. I would be a blind person when I go back to China now because I don't know anything now. I probably don't know like how they do anything because everything has changed after COVID in terms of like how you pay money, how you get like things booked, and it's like I'm gonna be the countryside, uneducated, unsophisticated countryman ending up in London for the first time and not knowing my bearings. I can't wait to see how awkward I'll look like. Now, if I live go back to a Chinese society and getting confused about travel here and there and public bus and the subway and everything and paying money and everything, it's gonna be an education. Cassia, huh? You've been there? CQ. Hot. Let's hope this year is not so hot. Last year's Chongqing was bad. The river was dried to its river bed. People could ride bicycles or like bikes across the riverbed. That was that bad last year. This year, not the same. Like my mother was like, this year the river is like so high up there. Like last year there was no water. Ooh, cool. Yeah, Chongqing has become the screen city of Chinese drama land. Right? How many dramas are filmed there? I think like every 10 dramas, 7 of them are filmed in Chongqing, contemporary ones. And usually they're like crime dramas. Usually it's like murder dramas. Somehow it's just the perfect place to have people dying. I'm like, 是的, huh? Why? Gotham. Chongqing is Gotham. Pretty much the same, yeah. Because Chongqing used to be a part of Sichuan. I mean, from place to place, there are slight differences, but very, very little. Before 1997, before that, CQ was a part of Sichuan. And then from then on to now, it's municipality. And then Sichuan's what's the word? I forgot. Anyway, Sichuan now is Chengdu. Chengdu is its sort of like provincial capital. Yeah. Previously it was Chengdu too. So Chongqing never had a good feeling towards Chengdu people. Now Chongqing gets pulled out of Sichuan. Therefore, Chongqing never recognize themselves as Sichuan people anymore. Just because previously all good things go to Chengdu. Because Chengdu was the capital, and Chongqing has the hard feeling of like getting like ignored. And now there's this weird adversaries of like thing going on between local Chongqinger and Chengduer. We never say good things about each other. If you go to Chongqing and Chengdu, you'll know that. And we laugh at each other's accent a lot, because although we like both cities speak the Sichuan regional dialect, Chongqing dialect is very different from Chengdu. It almost is like the level of like British accent versus American accent of English. Very different. Therefore, like we laugh at each other very much. Chengdu famous panda, yeah, because they have the panda sort of center located there, right? And actually in China, there are 2 subspecies, I think, of panda. One is the Sichuan panda, one is the Shanxi panda. So panda actually lives in Sichuan province and Shanxi province. And they are slightly different. They actually look quite different. That you may not know. Okay, probably need to go. What happened to Luo Yingxin? Nothing happened to Luo Yingxin. He's still filming his drama with Song Yi, right? I think. Has it finished? No. Period drama, he's doing. Nothing weird happened. Yeah, he just got like ranted about a lot because of Till the End of the Moon, but he hasn't done anything illegal. Like he's still working. Yes, Chongqing is huge because it's not really a normal city. In terms of the metropolis, actual Chongqing is just a city size. But then when they did a municipality drawing of like the region, they put a lot of sort of like previous town, smaller city, all under this huge umbrella called Chongqing municipality. So for example, from one place to another furthest place in Chongqing, you actually can take a plane and fly about 40 minutes and land. Like that's how far it is. So it's not really a city, although it's called a municipality city. It's actually made with a very big city and many smaller city, and they're actually quite far away from each other. But it just gets all put under this one political sort of umbrella called municipality of Chongqing. And roughly it is a third of the size of UK. So Chongqing is a third of the UK. Current. In the future, who knows? We have a crazy world. So that's probably it. I should call this a day. It's getting too long. Thank you for coming to this live stream wherever you are. Take care. have a great summer. Let's all pray. Let's all pray for at least one really, really delicious and good and drama to show up in the summer. I want at least one drama that can stimulate me to the point enough that I want to make a cut for it. So far, after Here It Comes Trouble, nothing has happened yet. And okay. Wow, people who are at 0:15, you should go to sleep. Please. Take care. I'll see you when I see you in my videos.